Alright, Shalom. Giving all praises to Yahawah, Bahashim, YAHAWASHI, Bahashim, Rakakadash, the one of the apostles, the great millstone, and taught us his truth. And blessings, all you sincere labors out of pushing his truth in all sincerity and faith and honesty. I'm that fellow servant Kanakla, and I got the brother Kwame Yashala here, and we're just gonna read the chapter of the day, probably break some bread, you know. And Lord willing is edified, and Lord will, we continue to do this here and there, on the chapters of the day. Just read along, read the chapter, and draw water from it, see what we can draw from it, and Lord willing is edifying, to those that hear it. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 54. Isaiah chapter 54 verse 1, and it reads, "Sing, O barren, thou that didst not bear."
And sing, O barren, thou that didst not bear. And who is he talking about? He's talking about us. Pursuing the revelation on what chapter that is,
11.
Sing on nobody can learn a new song.
Oh, 14.
Yeah, get that
14.
real quick.
Yeah. This is Revelations chapter 14. Revelations chapter 14, verse 3. And it reads, "And they sung as it were a new song before the throne."
That's talking about the elect. The men out here singing this new gospel, all right? This, which is the good news, all right? As YAHAWASHI stated, he said he quoted the book of Isaiah and Luke 4 and 18, 17 verse, to preach deliverance to the captives, man, to heal the brokenhearted. All right, so that's that new song, and we singing that song, the gospel. We so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and also to the Israelite foreigners scattered throughout. Hey, that the Heavenly Father is coming back. We're sending His Son, Yahawashi, back to free us first from our sins, free us from this captivity, to give us that kingdom of heaven. So this is that gospel. This is us, the Lord. And Isaiah 54 told us to sing, O ye barren. So that's us singing, which is His gospel, it is true. Go ahead.
Revelations 14 verse 3, "And they sung as it were a new song before the throne, and before the four beasts and the elders, and no man can learn that song, but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth."
Exactly. So it's redeemed from the earth, which were saved. So when we read Isaiah 54 again.
Isaiah 54 verse 1, "Sing, O barren, thou that didst not bear."
So sing. So the state of a woman that cannot bear children is Genesis 29 verse 29. It says, I'm gonna start at 30. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start at 27. It says, "Fulfill her week, and we will give thee this also for the service which thou shalt serve with me yet 7 other years." So this is Jacob working for Leah and Rachel. All right, so Jacob had to put in work in order to get Leah and Rachel, all right, to marry them. Verse 28, it says, "And Jacob did so and fulfilled her week, and he gave him Rachel his daughter to his wife also. Laban gave to Rachel his daughter Bilhah his handmaid to be her maid. And he went also unto Rachel, and he loved also Rachel more than Leah, and served with him yet 7 other years. And when the Lord saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren." Okay, it says, "And Leah conceived and bare a son, and she called his name Reuben, for she said, Surely the Lord hath looked upon my affliction, now therefore my husband will love me." So that's an example right there. A woman that's barren, that wasn't a good thing, right? A woman that couldn't have children, that wasn't a good thing. That was a woman mourning. So the Lord is telling the woman mourning, which is Jerusalem. The scripture say, "I've likened Jerusalem unto a comely and delicate woman." All right. The Lord is telling that woman that's barren, which is us, because we in that mourning state, to sing, "O barren, thou that didst not bear." Go ahead.
Isaiah 54 verse 1, "Sing, O barren, thou that didst not bear, break forth into singing, and cry aloud, thou that didst not travel, thou that didst not travail with child. For more are the children of the desolate than the children of the married wife,
Go ahead.
saith the Lord. Enlarge the place of thy tent, and let them stretch forth the curtains of thine habitations. Spare not, lengthen thy cords, and strengthen thy stakes. For thou shalt break forth on the right hand and on the left, and thy seed shall inherit the Gentiles, and make the desolate cities to be inhabited.
And that's our land was desolate. So make the desolate cities inhabited. We shall inherit the Gentiles. That's talking about the actual other nations. Because in order to inherit them, all right, to own them, possess them as slaves, man. Okay, what David said that right in Psalms 2, ask of me and I shall give thee the heathen for thy inheritance. All right, so we're going to inherit the Gentiles, man. The Lord is telling us to sing, O barren. You know, you woman that was without child, lift up, put on that strength, and it's time for you to sing, man. You know, mourning is over with. All right, go ahead.
Verse 4, fear not, for thou shalt not be ashamed.
And that was a shame for a woman to be barren in them times. Okay, go ahead.
Neither be thou confounded, for thou shalt not be put to shame, for thou shalt forget the shame of thy youth.
What's the shame of our youth? When we first came, when the Lord, you can read all about it, when the Lord first was dealing with us. When we was a young nation, man, going off, transgressing the laws, the Lord has put us back in captivity. He'll take us out, he'll deliver us. So all the shame of our youth, the judges, the Lord is say we're going to forget the shame of our youth, man. That's why we've grown older and wiser as more of a mature nation. All right, we understand the things that please the Most High and the things that make him angry. You know. Yeah, something.
Yeah. I just want to see, and we understand because we went off. You know, so now we understand what makes him angry. Because,
mature.
Yep. And how do we? And who did that? The elect. The elect. Because what's that? Galatians 6:16. The Israel of the Most High. So the Israel of the Most High is being made up. They're being made up, and they understand their transgressions of the law, and they understand how to get back to the Most High through YAHAWASHI. And that's what's delicate. That's what's precious to the Most High. Do not the scripture say they are precious and royal nation, a holy nation, peculiar? That's ultimately talking about the elect. You know, they were going to understand going through the scriptures, because the scriptures say search the scriptures. You know, give diligence, seek ye out the book of the Lord and read, and they're going to read and understand. And we went off. Okay, and the only way to get back is the acknowledgement of YAHAWASHI. You know, and through that, only a small remnant will understand that, man. You know, I just want to say that they will understand the good and the bad, and that's why they chase as a chaste virgin. You know, they're chastened. You know, the scriptures say that, man. Apostle Paul said, "I have, likened thee, you know, as a chaste virgin." You know, and that's what we are, man. Those that are not defiled with those other nations, these philosophies, man. You know, so this is a beautiful thing, man, for the Lord, and bring man out of the four corners of the earth into his truth. You know, understanding good and evil. So Isaiah 54, continue.
Yeah.
Isaiah 54:4. Fear not, for thou shalt not be ashamed, neither be thou confounded, for thou shalt not be put to shame, for thou shalt forget the shame of thy youth, and shalt not remember the reproach of thy widowhood anymore.
Yeah, the reproach of thy widowhood, to be a widow. All right, because we were married unto the Most High, and then when we went off, he forsook us. So that's the reproach of our widowhood, being left alone. That's a clear example, bro, because the Lord is with us right now. So we're not widows no more. Okay? He's with us right now through the Spirit. Then he's going to physically, as the bridegroom cometh, he's going to physically adorn, and we're going to be married unto him, and he's going to be with us physically. So right now, spiritually, we're not a widow no more. All right? We're getting ready for the marriage. We're finna be married, man. All right?
Verse 5, for thy maker is thine husband.
Exactly.
The Lord Yahawah, Bashim Yahushua of hosts is his name. And thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel, the God of the whole earth, shall he be called. For Yahawah, Bashim Yahushua, hath called thee as a woman forsaken, and grieved in spirit, and a wife of youth. When thou wast refused, saith thy power, for a small moment have I forsaken thee, but with great mercies will I gather thee.
Because the Lord told Moses that in Deuteronomy. See if I can find that real quick. Because he said these people will go whoring after other gods, and I will forsake them.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yep. I think it's Deuteronomy. Matter of fact, I can hand me that one over there real quick. Yeah, old one. Yeah, 'cause I got it marked off in there, I believe.
Hey, well, while you get that real quick, I got a quick precept. The book of Baruch. This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 6, and it reads, ye were sold. I'm gonna start verse 5. Baruch chapter 4, verse 5. Be of a good cheer, my people, the memorial of Israel. So going back to Isaiah 54:1, where it says sing, right? While we're singing, because YAHAWASHI, all right, is coming back, man, the Lord, you know. Okay, so that's why we have the good cheer, because of the gospel. Okay, do not the scripture say preach the gospel, you know, unto to the, you know, nation of Israel, man, you know. So that's why we have we're in, you know, cheer, okay, because YAHAWASHI getting ready to loosen us out of these damn vile bodies, man. It's flesh. It says, my people, the nation of Israel, verse 6, ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, okay, but because you moved the Most High to wrath, ye were delivered to the enemies, man. So that's the wrath of the Most High. You know, he put us in that corner, that spiritual corner, okay, which is ultimately being separated, man. All right, and that's why Isaiah 54 said he would gather us with great mercies, man, because we've been separated, man. You know, the elect of Israel.
Read that Isaiah again real quick.
Isaiah 54, verse 7. For a small moment have I forsaken thee, but with great mercies will I gather thee.
Deuteronomy 31:16. And the Lord said unto Moses, behold, thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, and this people will rise up and go a whoring after the gods of the strangers of the land, whither they go to be among them, and will forsake me and break my covenant which I have made with them. Then my anger shall be kindled against them in that day, and I will forsake them, and I will hide my face from them, and they shall be devoured, and many evils and troubles shall befall them, so that they will say in that day, are not these evils come upon us, because our God is not among us? All right. And I will surely hide my face in that day for all the evils which they shall have wrought, and that they have turned unto other gods. So the Lord said he will forsake them. The Lord told Moses, all right, you're going to sleep with your fathers. You're going to get them this law, statutes, commandments. All right. Because this, you know, after the Exodus, after we left Egypt, all right, then a little bit after that, you know, the book of Joshua, you know, we went into the pretty much we got the land of Canaan, man, after Moses died and slept with his fathers, and we went into Israel. The Lord established us, and the Lord said, hey, when you go to sleep with your fathers, these people can go whoring after other gods, and I'm going to forsake them. So go back to Isaiah 54, Baba Kashaf.
Isaiah 54, verse 7. For a small moment have I forsaken thee.
And we know the precept to that, one day to the Lord is 1,000 years to man. So the Lord said, for a small moment have I forsaken thee. Go ahead.
Okay. For a small moment have I forsaken thee, but with great mercies will I gather thee.
And those great mercies, because the Lord could have done away with the nation. All right, we were filthy of sins, sin, iniquity after iniquity, skins as scarlet, red, but with great mercies, man, sending his son YAHAWASHI.
That's great mercy in itself.
Yep.
To fulfill the law, to be a sacrificial lamb, the only pure sacrifice to bring back every soul unto the Most High. The scriptures say he tasted death for every man, so that's the greatest sacrifice, the greatest mercy that can ever be given and shown.
Which is Israel, of course.
Yeah, ultimately.
Make sure we.
Yeah, it's lucky.
No, I'm saying just make sure
Yeah, the water is beautiful.
All men, all Israel.
Of Israel, men of Israel. Or the men of Israel. So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians. That's the greatest sacrifice that the Lord could have ever done, or mercy that the Lord can have ever done for the nation of Israel, which was give us His Son. Isaiah 54 verse 8, and it reads, "In a little wrath, I hid my face from thee."
Yeah, so the Lord is letting us know, you look at all what we've been through, this brutal slavery. If that was just a little wrath, man, imagine the full wrath of the Lord. Because we've been through a lot of stuff, but the Lord say that was just a little wrath. All right.
But with great slop, in a little wrath, I hid my face from thee for a moment. But with everlasting kindness will I have mercy on thee, saith the Lord thy Redeemer. For this is as the waters of Noah unto me. For as I have sworn that the waters of Noah should no more go over the earth.
So the Lord sworn by the bow he would never flood the earth again. So the Lord is liking this promise as unto that, and the Lord kept that promise. He wasn't gonna flood the earth again. So this is the Lord being a man of his word, swearing by himself. All right, and the scripture says, "Is it impossible for him to lie? He cannot." The Lord is a man that he cannot lie. So go ahead.
So I have sworn that I will not be wroth with thee, nor rebuke thee. For the mountains, verse 10, for the mountains shall depart, and the hills be removed.
And that goes back into affliction shall not rise a second time. So you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, we will never be rebuked and chastened by the Lord no more, because ultimately we're gonna get those new bodies, so there will be no need for any chastisement. We won't go off, we won't transgress the laws. So the Lord he ain't gonna have to bring that wrath on us anymore, because he's gonna fix us,
Okay. And it reads, verse 10, Isaiah 54 verse 10, for the mountains shall depart, and the hills be removed, but my kindness shall not depart from thee, neither shall the covenant of my peace be removed, saith the Lord.
The covenant of his peace, the peace offering, YAHAWASHI, the atonement. All right, his kindness, the Lord is not gonna be mean to us no more, so to say, man. We gonna, because all we know really is the wrath of the Lord. That's all we know. Constantly getting whooped, we haven't fully felt, man, the kindness and the mercies and the love of the Lord, man. That's why we say, man, who else needs saved? Because we look at the wicked in these other nations, Esau, Edom, and these other nations, man, and they doing good, man. All right, but here it is, we in the lowest state, getting killed, slaughtered. It's like all we know is the wrath. We don't know what it feels like for the mercies and the kindness of the Lord.
Peace.
And peace, Go ahead.
I was gonna say, the only time that we ever had that peace, was in the time of King Solomon. Yeah. That was that 40 years of peace. After that he went off. So what? The Lord, after that, his son Jeroboam and Rehoboam, the temple split. The house of David, came out of, it's like I'm going off a little bit. Forgive me. The kingdom of Israel split, and then you had northern and southern get led off into captivity. under the Assyrians and so forth and so on, going into the book of 2 Kings and 17th chapter. And after that, we never had no peace then. Till that, the kingdom been split. So that peace offering is very important, man, because after that, we never had any peace, man. After then the 40 years under King Solomon, man. So that's why we're going to be a nation of peace, because the Lord YAHAWASHI is going to be reigning over us, man. You know, with 144,000 King David, so forth and so on. Other than that, we never had any peace. You know, so that's the beauty of the covenant of peace. You know, having YAHAWASHI. You know, because without YAHAWASHI, bro, we would be through, bro. And Jake just don't realize that. You know, but the elect, they taking heed unto that. That's why we singing. You know, because we understand why we, you know, what fucked us up, man. Okay, we kept going off. So the Lord gave us YAHAWASHI to be that peace offering, man, that sacrifice. You know, and through him, believing on him, we're gonna be right next to him, man, because we suffer with him. You know, just want to say that through spirit. But yeah, Isaiah 54 verse 8, in a little wrath I hid my face from thee for a moment, but with everlasting kindness will I have mercy on thee, saith the Lord thy Redeemer. For this is as the waters of Noah unto me. For as I have sworn that the waters of Noah should no more go over the earth, so have I sworn that I will not be wroth with thee, nor rebuke thee. For the mountains shall depart, and the hills be removed, but my kindness shall not depart from thee, neither shall the covenant of my peace be removed, saith the Lord.
And that's beautiful to hear that, bro. Just to hear those words, to know that you ain't gotta be worrying about the Lord gonna jack you up, man. To be at peace, man. That in itself, bro, is enough, man. To know, like, you ain't gotta worry about a nation coming up against you and dragging you off into captivity. You know, to know the Lord ain't gonna send plagues upon you. You know, you don't want that, man. To know that the Lord's not gonna raise up an oppressor to oppress you. To just Jake just want to just chill, man. That's all Jake want to do. Jake want to just chill, man, and be at rest and be at peace. But through our transgressions and forsaking the Lord and moving him to wrath and jealousy, man, he brought all those evils upon us, man. Okay, but seeking him now and seeing what he's saying and believing in on him, man, all those things are gonna cease, man. They're gonna stop. They're gonna be brought to naught, and that's what we want, man. Okay,
that's right. And it reads so lucky. It says, neither shall the covenant of my peace be removed, saith the Lord. That's so beautiful, man. Yes. That have mercy on thee, O thou afflicted, tossed with tempest, and not comforted.
Not comforted, man. They tell you in Revelations 11, it shall not suffer their dead bodies. Nobody comforted us. You know, nobody restored us. They exploited us, scattered us throughout all the world, afflicted us, murdered us, raped, robbed us, and nobody said, hey, this, you know, these people, man, they've been through a lot, man. Let's help them out. Let's, you know, build them up. Let's get them their land back. Let's heal these people. And the Lord understand the condition we in, man. My people, man, tempted, afflicted, and not comforted. Okay, go ahead.
Behold, I will lay thy stones with fair colors, and lay thy foundations with sapphires, and I will make thy windows of gates, and thy gates of carbuncles, and all thy borders of pleasant stones.
So the Lord's gonna build us up, man. Spiritually speaking about us, the body, which temples ye are.
The kingdom of heaven.
Exactly. And then physically, man, those things are actually gonna take place, man. You know? Go ahead.
Verse 13, and all thy children shall be taught of YAHAWASHI, and great shall be the peace of thy children. In righteousness shalt thou be established, and thou shalt be far from oppression.
And that's beautiful. And righteousness shall thou be established. Did not the scripture say, "Woe to you who establish
Build of the town
upon iniquity,"
yeah,
right? Established by iniquity, because it don't last. If you establish a town upon iniquity, it don't last. But the Lord say we're gonna be established in righteousness, man. So it's gonna last forever. You know. What was that next part that said after that?
I'll read it from the top.
Right.
Isaiah 54 verse 14. In righteousness shalt thou be established. Thou shalt be far from oppression.
Far from
no
oppression.
More slavery.
Yes, bro. You know how that feel, man? No more tickets. Not only tickets, bills. That's oppression. Bills, that's oppression. You get notifications like, "Oh, your bill due." That's oppression. You know? But the scriptures say, we are yet this day in our captivity, we're subject to payments, man. Right? Oppression, man. Going places, people looking at you different kind of ways because you're a so-called Negro, man. All right?
Okay. I have a quick precept for you. First Maccabees chapter 2 verse 10. What nation have not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils? You know, so what nation have not had a hand in our captivity? Okay, what nation have not? That's why, you know, that's why we're gonna be far from oppression, because everybody, all these nations, all 17 nations, done had a part in our captivities, man. You know what I mean? We, you know, whether it be Moab, Ammon, you know, okay, whether it be Elam, Ishmael, guess what? They all had a hand in our downfall, man. So we're going to be far from oppression because the Most High is going to put us in that new body, i.e. the new covenant, the covenant of peace. And we're going to be over the nations again, man. We're going to be brought back nigh to the Most High, making these nations by default on the bottom, man. You know, so that's that peace, you know, that the Lord is going to bring us, removing oppression, you know, removing suffering, removing captivity, removing slavery, man, far from us. Okay, because we're going to be in rulership then. Ain't nobody going to come up to us again and ransacking the temple. Here it is. We're building a temple, going back to the book of Ezra, 4th chapter. And then you got nations wanting to part. Yeah, nations troubling us, having letters sent off to the king to, you know, ultimately overthrow our kingdom. That's not going to happen no more, because this is the kingdom that's being built in the spirit before it be shown physical, man. And that's what the nations just going to have to deal with in that time. And if they have a problem with it, we're going to be in that body where we're going to be able to look, man. We got the power to put you to death, bro. We see ultimately what you're trying to do, but just want to throw that out there, man. That's why we're going to ultimately be removed from oppression, because that covenant is going to be in us. You know, that new body, man. That understanding, you know, never going off again. That's the problem. Jay always been going off, but we're coming into the time of the new covenant where we're never going to go off again, man. We're never going to have a reason for the nation to come in and ransack the temple and destroy, you know, and move us and have us off in slavery, because we're not going to go off. We're not going to defile. We're not going to commit transgression, sinning against the law, you know, because the law is going to be in us, you know. So just want to say that. That's why oppression is going to be moved far away. Isaiah 54 verse 13, and all thy children shall be taught of the Lord, and great shall be thy peace of thy children. In righteousness shalt thou be established. Thou shalt be far from oppression, for thou shalt not fear, and from terror, for it shall not come near thee. Behold, they shall surely gather together, but not by me. Whosoever shall gather together against thee shall fall by thy sake. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire.
So this jumping all the way up into the end, man. So the Lord's telling you, look, I'm going to bestow all this mercy upon you. I'm going to move all these people. Now here it is, World War III finna get ready to pop off. I have created these weapons, man. The smith. Read on.
Time. And it reads, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy.
Because in order for us to obtain all these mercies and all these promises through faith, Okay. The Lord has to bring down this current kingdom, this current system.
That's right.
All right. Yeah, a lot of scripture says, "Thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee." A lot of things gotta be broken down. As we were sieged, and our lands was brought down, and we was scattered and just conquered. That same thing gotta happen to all these nations, man, for these things to take place. These power structures have to be brought down, man. All right. Go ahead.
And that's the importance of us doing the work right now, because we're actually doing the work. The word of the Lord is going out, man. And the scriptures tell you that this gospel shall be preached across the four corners of the earth, and then the end shall come. And we're prophesying the downfall and breaking down strongholds and destroying this place spiritually, as it is written in 2 Thessalonians, consuming it with the spirit of his mouth. So we're spiritually bringing this place down before it be manifested physically, and that's going to be the beauty, because we're going to be able to live and see it. The Lord is how he have man that's living to see the downfall and destruction of his enemies, man. So that when it happens, guess what? We're gonna rejoice. And the Lord gonna set us up, man. Scripture say Daniel 7:18, the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom. Okay, so we're gonna be able to come up and take the seat of rulership in the time we're coming into, through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI, not of our works, not of our own power, but of the power of YAHAWASHI. The scriptures say, he that is feeble in that day shall be as David, man. And the house of David shall be as the Most High, as an angel, as God, Aliyah powers, man. So the Lord is getting ready to transfer the power of these Edomites into the hands, all right, of so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, man, i.e. the elect of Israel. Just want to back you up in spirit. Isaiah 54 verse 17, the last precept. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of YAHAWAH, and their righteousness is of me, saith YAHAWAH.
And that's ultimately dominion and power and the rule, judges.
That's right.
Gods, man. And that's the heritage. That's our heritage. Because they, as scriptures say, those whose judgments was not the drink of the cup have surely drunken it. It was never meant for us. It was never meant for us to go into bondage, to be low. We were supposed to obey the Lord and be on high. But since we did transgression go off,
he scattered us.
The judgment came upon us, man.
That's right. That cup.
Yes. So we're gonna go on. We're heading to those times now to where, as the brother stated, we're gonna be able to follow the laws 100% in those new bodies. So everything else is just gonna be irrelevant, man. It's gonna be under our feet, man.
That's right.
So with that, Lord willing, you edified. Giving all praise to YAHAWASHI, Bakar Kodash, double unto the apostles of great millstone, and blessings and brothers out there pushing this truth and also serving faith and honesty, and also blessings to you sisters out there listening and learning. So